Have you ever wondered what happens if you wake up at 4:30 in the morning every single day? Not once, not twice, but for an entire week? Some people swear it's the secret to success, billionaire habits, military discipline, all that. Others will tell you it's torture, that it wrecks your health and makes you feel like a zombie. So, I became the test subject. 7 days, no excuses. And what happened by the end of day 7 completely shocked me. Stick with me, because I'm betting some of you will want to try this yourself after hearing what went down. Let's be real for a second. I'm not a morning person. My normal routine? Wake up somewhere between 8 and 9 a.m., snooze the alarm at least twice, maybe check Instagram or YouTube before I even get out of bed. That's my comfort zone. So, when I set my alarm for 4:30, I already knew this wasn't going to be just a small change. It was going to be war. I gave myself 2 rules. 1. Wake up at 4:30 a.m. sharp. No snoozing, no 5 more minutes. If the alarm rings, I move. Period. 2. Use the extra hours for something productive. Not just sitting in the dark scrolling TikTok. It had to be workouts, reading, creating, planning, something that mattered. But the real question in my head was simple. Would waking up early actually change my life? Or would I just end up tired, cranky, and useless? Day 1. That alarm hit me like a punch. For a split second, I thought it was a mistake. My room was dark, my body was glued to the bed, and every cell in me screamed, "Stay under the blanket." But I forced myself up. The streets outside were silent. The sky was still pitch black. Honestly, it felt like I had broken into a secret world I wasn't supposed to be in. The quiet was so deep, it was almost uncomfortable. I kept asking myself, what am I even doing awake at this hour? That first morning, even making breakfast felt strange, like I was eating in the middle of the night. Day 2, my body was not happy. I was dragging myself out of bed, barely making it to the kitchen. But something surprising happened. During those early hours, I noticed this weird, sharp focus. It was like my brain said, well, if we're awake, let's make it count. I actually knocked out some work that usually takes me twice as long. But here's the ugly part. By 2 p.m., I hit a wall. Hard. My eyelids felt like 50-pound weights. I almost fell asleep standing in the shower. Be honest, if you were in my shoes, would you have powered through or tapped out? Comment down below, because that day was pure survival. Day 3, this was the turning point. Instead of just stumbling around after waking up, I forced myself into action. I started with push-ups, stretches, a quick jog outside. And it hit different. The air was crisp, the streets were empty, and by the time most people were still in bed, I'd already broken a sweat. That gave me a high I didn't expect. It wasn't just about being awake, it was about already having a win in my pocket before sunrise. Day 4, the challenge started to demand sacrifices. The night before, some friends invited me out. Normally, I'd say yes without thinking, but I knew if I stayed out late, that 4:30 alarm would destroy me. So I turned them down. And trust me, saying no wasn't easy. When that alarm went off, I still felt punished. That's when I realized this wasn't just about waking up early. It was about discipline, about choosing long-term wins over short-term fun. And honestly, that lesson stung. Day 5, this day blew my mind. For the first time, I woke up before the alarm. No joke, my eyes opened at 4:28, like my body already knew what time it was. And instead of dragging myself out of bed, I actually felt alive, energized. My morning workout went crazy. Push-ups, squats, you name it. By 9 a.m., I'd already done more than I used to do before lunch. That's when it hit me. This wasn't about 4:30 anymore. It was about momentum. Once you start your day with energy, the rest of it just flows. But I still wondered, was this just a lucky day, or was my body really adapting? Day 6, by now, I was in rhythm. I woke up, drank water, did my workout, read a couple pages of a book, even started planning projects. By the time most people were brushing their teeth, I had already stacked 3 or 4 wins. It honestly felt like I had stolen hours from the day, like I was living in bonus time. But here's the side effect no one talks about, the social life. My friends were texting me late at night, hop on a game, let's watch a movie, come grab food. And every time, I had to say no. Because if I stayed up, that 4:30 alarm would crush me. That trade-off was real. I was gaining power in the mornings, but losing fun at night. So I'll ask you, Would you trade your late nights for extra morning wins? Drop a yes or no in the comments, because this was the hardest part for me. Day 7, the final test. Did waking up at 4:30 actually change my life? Or was it just one long, sleep-deprived week? Here's the truth. It didn't make me Superman. I still had days where I was tired. I still had mornings where I wanted to smash the alarm and roll back under the covers. But what changed wasn't my body. It was my mindset. By the end of the week, I had proven something to myself. I was in control. Not my comfort zone, not my excuses. Me. I built a routine that made me feel unstoppable. Waking up early wasn't about bragging rights. It was about building discipline. And discipline? That's the real life changer. The best part? That discipline didn't stay in the mornings. It spilled into everything. My workouts, my focus, even my mood. Waking up early gave me a momentum I carried through the day. I wasn't just awake earlier. I was winning earlier. So here's my dare to you. Try it. Just once. Set your alarm for 4:30 and see what happens. Do you crush the morning or do you crash by noon? Either way, share your story in the comments because I want to see who's brave enough to test themselves. And trust me, this isn't the last challenge. If you thought this was tough, the next one is even crazier. So make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss it.